Hare Krishna. My name is Dr. Shubha Vilas. I have created a value education curriculum for schools and for Sunday schools, which I'm going to present in today's session. I have been studying, researching, and speaking across the world in many, many forums, including schools, colleges, corporates, and of course, in hundreds of ISKCON setups. And I have been teaching and very much involved in curriculum creation for many, many years now, close to about 15 years, based on which I have created a curriculum. I've written close to about 50 books now, and many of my books are the textbooks for this curriculum. So I'll quickly run you all through the curriculum and help us understand what this curriculum has to offer and how this curriculum can actually help devotees and teachers across the world to impart a value education through a dharmic curriculum. The idea is to create a curriculum that is acceptable in regular schools, at the same time be very much relevant for ISKCON schools and ISKCON educators. That's the blend that I have tried to create. And it is a curriculum that is very heavily um, focused on trying to help teachers have substantial um, knowledge bank and resources to teach children for close to about 10 years. That's the kind of curriculum that I've developed. So I'll run you through the curriculum. This curriculum is called as the conscious student. The idea of having the name conscious student is that I really want to help create a generation of children who are conscious. When I'm saying conscious, it means they are sensitive. It means that they are very much aware of what our scriptures and ancient wisdom have to offer, but at the same time, they're very relevant to the modern world. That's the kind of students that we are looking at creating. It's called as conscious student. These are the workbooks that have been created for this curriculum, starting from grade 1, which is about 6-year olds, all the way to grade 10, which is about 15-year olds. So that's the range of students that we are planning to cover. I will run you through the curriculum step by step. The curriculum essentially has 4 parts. The first part is workbooks, which every student will have. These are very high quality, well designed, very artistically made, and full color workbooks that kids love. The second part of the curriculum is um, textbooks, which are my books which I have written based on the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, the Panchatantra, Krishna stories, stories of Hanuman, and so many other scriptural stories. So I've created an organization called Deja Veda Edu Training Foundation. The purpose of this organization, it's a non-profit organization, very specifically created for taking value education to schools and helping schools develop very, very good quality children who can be wonderful citizens, who can be very conscious human beings, and can eventually become wonderful devotees. That's the goal of this curriculum. So the first part of the curriculum is workbooks, which I shared. The second part of the curriculum is textbooks, which are my books. The third part of this curriculum is what I call as teachers' manuals. These teachers' manuals are provided to the teachers who are actually going to teach the curriculum. These teachers' manuals are very, very well created manuals which ensure that the teacher is self sufficient. That means if the teacher has a textbook, if she has the workbook, and she has the manual, she doesn't need anybody to teach. She doesn't even need my intervention. So I can train teachers how to teach it, and then they very much on their own can manage teaching children for 10 years when they have this manual. So the manual is like the key for the entire curriculum. And finally, the fourth part of the curriculum is PowerPoint presentations. Every single session of the entire curriculum has PPTs, just like what you're seeing on screen, the slides. These PPTs are teaching aids for teachers to teach in a very interesting and with visual aids, with some kind of small visual aids which doesn't obstruct her teaching. That means the focus is not taken away from the teacher, but at the same time, it helps students um, have a visual impression of what they are hearing in terms of stories and in terms of activities. I'm going to run you through the entire curriculum, the conscious student. Standard one, which is 6 year olds, they have um, they have a very beautiful and a very interesting curriculum, which is called Good Habits. The idea in this 6 year olds is to teach children good habits like cleanliness, sensitivity towards elders, respecting elders, truthfulness, um, things like that, which are very simple, but at the same time, very, very essential for small children to learn and absorb as values. So these are taught through stories and through videos. Every single session will have a small animated video that kids will see. And based on that video, the teacher will be teaching them specific habits. There are a huge list of habits that children at this particular age need to learn. And those are the habits that are being covered. We have developed this curriculum based on the Panchakosh approach. Panchakosh is a very ancient system of learning where um, children at specific age need to learn specific skills and specific values that will help them grow into holistic human beings. And Panchakosh is essentially five elements, so five koshas: uh, Annamaya Kosh, Pranamaya Kosh, Manomaya Kosh, Vijnanamaya Kosh, and Anandamaya Kosh. And as the child grows, these koshas or sheaths, they start developing in a child. And as the development of a child happens, they also need to be taught certain values and certain principles. And the entire curriculum has been designed keeping that in mind, ensuring that children learn specifically what they need to learn at that particular age. So, first standard, 6 year olds will be taught good habits through this curriculum. The good habits will have um, audio visuals, videos, which are age appropriate, which are animated videos, and there will be a workbook which is extremely beautifully designed, very exciting, fun workbook. The children will love to use them and enjoy experiencing them. And in addition, there'll be teacher's manual, which the teachers will use, which will have in-depth tips and guidelines for the teachers to actually teach the curriculum in a very effective way. The second standard will be a book called The Little Blue Book on Krishna, where I have written many stories of Krishna's life and beautiful stories which are very child friendly stories. And based on these stories, there is a workbook designed for teaching children Krishna stories. The idea is that in the second grade, which is 7 year old kids, by hearing these stories of Krishna and also doing activities to learn these stories better and also learn the lessons and the teachings of these stories based on the workbook. The idea is that kids will fall in love with Krishna. So we're trying to create an entire curriculum for an entire year which will help children fall in love with Krishna. The third grade is on Panchatantra. I have written a book on Panchatantra with lessons that kids can learn from the Panchatantra for their life. Based on this, there are two workbooks, part 1 and part 2, where we cover the entire Panchatantra. 54 stories of Panchatantra are covered through both these workbooks, and practically, this one curriculum, this one standard, can run for almost 2 years. These classes will help children learn the stories of Panchatantra, which will be told in exciting manner. But at the same time, from every story, there are lessons that they will learn through activities and through discussions that will happen in the classroom. This is for third standard or 8-year-old children. The fourth standard will learn Hanuman Chalisa. The idea is to teach them stories of Hanumanji. And through the stories of Hanumanji, learn very powerful value systems, very powerful lessons that can be learned from the story of Hanuman, which includes lessons on devotion, which includes lessons on loyalty, which includes lessons on power, courage, enthusiasm, and so many others like wit, wisdom, and amazing stories with PowerPoint presentations, with beautiful slides, and with a very, very beautifully designed workbook that is based on the stories of Hanumanji. This is standard 4. The standard 5 is based on two books. There's a book called Timeless Tales to Ignite Your Mind. In this, I have written 50 stories which are from the land of India. These are all stories that are in the folklore of India. Stories like Tenali Raman, Vikram Betal, and so many other stories that are told in the folklore of India are contained within the first book called Timeless Tales to Ignite Your Mind. These are 50 stories. And Ancient Wisdom to Elevate Your Mind has another 50 stories which are from scriptures like the Mahabharata, the Ramayana, the Bhagavatam, and the Puranas. From so many scriptures, I've picked up 50 fascinating stories. And both these books have powerful lessons the children can learn in their life. Based on both these stories, I have workbooks created. These workbooks are for standard 5, which means this is for a 9-year-old child. And these workbooks teach so many amazing lessons that they can learn through these stories to develop their value system and to develop their thought processes. The sixth standard is a book called Bhagavad Gita for Children, where I have written an illustrated Bhagavad Gita for children, where children will learn the concepts of Bhagavad Gita, key concepts of Bhagavad Gita. I've picked up 18, rather 36 key shlokas of Bhagavad Gita. And from these 36 key shlokas, I have a theme for each shloka. Every shloka will teach an important theme that children can apply in their lives. And based on the shloka and the theme, there is a story to illustrate the concept. The story will teach children about how to apply the theme in their life. And based on that, there is a powerful lesson. So, this is the entire curriculum of sixth grade, which is a 10-year-old child. And again, there will be teachers' manuals, there will be PowerPoint presentations, and there will be a workbook and textbook. Based on all this, children will learn Gita shlokas, selected Gita shlokas. And in addition to learning selected Gita shlokas, they will also learn the meaning of the shlokas through stories as well as powerful lessons. That is the sixth standard curriculum. The seventh standard and the eighth standard are based on Ramayana. I've written a series of books called Ramayana, the Game of Life. This series contains the entire Ramayana in Kands. So there are 6 volumes which are talking about 6 Kands of Ramayana. So each volume talks about one Kand. The first volume is on the Bala Kand of Ramayana. Second volume is Ayodhya Kand of Ramayana. So it contains the entire story of Ramayana, but with life lessons. I've integrated Valmiki Ramayana, Kamba Ramayana, Tulsidas Ji's Ramcharitamanas, and all the stories with poetic analogies from each of them. So Valmiki Ramayana is the base of the entire narration, but I've added poetic expressions from Tulsidas Ji and from Kamba Ramayana. In addition to that, I've added commentaries from various acharyas from Shiva Vaishnava Sampradaya, from the north, from Ayodhya, and so many of these commentaries. In addition to the commentaries and the books which I mentioned, I have also added in folk tales that are in alignment with Valmiki Ramayana. In addition to all this, there are life lessons that you can learn in your life from the Ramayana. So all of this is in the form of this 6 volume series. Based on this, I've created two standards, standard 7, which is 11-year-olds, and standard 8, which is 12-year-old. So the children through 7th and 8th standard, 2 full years, they will learn the entire Ramayana in great detail. Along with workbooks, activities, which teach lessons from the story of Ramayana. So this is a little sample of what is there in the workbook. So if you just see, I've just picked up one story from the workbook. This is a story of Sunashepa and Trishanku, which is there in the Ramayana. And based on the stories, I'll just quickly run through a few slides that are there in the workbook, which will show you the quality of the text that is there in the workbook, the quality of questions that are there in the workbook, and the quality of activities that are there in the workbook. So the idea is to make the story of Ramayana very relevant to a common person, especially to children, basically. So this way they understand the whole mood and the mindset of the characters of the Ramayana, and they understand the story of the Ramayana in a much deeper level, and they will actually be able to apply the teachings from the story of Ramayana in their own lives. So that is the way in which the 7th and 8th standard curriculum is created. 7th standard is first, second, and third volume, Balakand, Ayodhyakand, and Aranyakand. The 8th standard is the fourth, fifth, and sixth volume, which is Kishkinda Kand, Sundar Kand, and Yuddha Kand. So that way, they through both the standards, they learn the entire Ramayana. Ninth standard is on a book which I have written called Open Eyed Meditations. This book has life lessons that you can learn from the Mahabharata. So these are 64 chapters in it. Each chapter talks about one aspect of life, one problem, one issue that you face in life, one aspect of life seen through the lens of the Mahabharata, which means that children will learn to deal with their life's problems through stories from Mahabharata. That is what the ninth standard curriculum is. So ninth standard curriculum is for a 13-year-old child, and so 13, 14-year-old children, basically. It's a very powerful curriculum that will teach children, um, uh, you know, give children the ability to have creative thinking. It'll help children develop problem solving skills. It will help children develop cognitive skills, and so many beautiful things that they will learn through stories from the Mahabharata. And finally, the last book I have for standard 10 is called The Magic of Friendships. I've written a book based on stories from the scriptures, stories from various Puranas and scriptures on friendship, on how children can develop good quality friends. Not only find them, choose the right kind of friends, but also make deeper connections with these friends and keep them for life. So, this book is like a manual for life for children. And specifically at this age, standard 10, is when children are looking to make deep friendships. And this is the age when they are teenagers. This is the age about 15, 14, 15-year-olds where they really require good quality friends. And unfortunately, if they don't have the right kind of friends, they get carried away and they get completely into wrong habits and wrong mindsets. So, this is a book that will really give a lot of hope and inspiration to children. So, this is the entire curriculum from 1st to 10th standard. So, the curriculum is roughly the timelines of the curriculum is like this. Each standard, so from 1st to 4th standard, each standard, the workbook and the textbook and the manual, they have 35 sessions of 1 hour each. For 5th to 9th standard, it is 35 sessions of 35 minutes, expandable to about 45 minutes each. Then the 10th standard has 15 sessions of 35 minutes each, again expandable to about 45 minutes. So this way, the entire curriculum is created. It is for 10 years. So practically for 10 long years, teachers don't have to think what to teach. They don't have to think how to teach it. They don't have to think how to go deeper. Everything is present. In addition to the curriculum, I've created an online teacher training course where it's a self-paced learning which is available on my website shubhavilas.com. Any teacher who wants to not just from the point of view of ISKCON schools, but any school in the world, if they want to learn how to teach effectively, this is the course that they must attend. And it's an online self-paced course. Anybody can do this course and they will learn a lot about teaching. So in this course, I also teach how to teach this curriculum. So if any teacher is interested in this curriculum, this is the course to go to. The website name is shubhavilas.com, shubhavilas.com. And in that, go to the section of courses and you'll find the teacher training course there. So the idea is through this curriculum, we want to really impact thousands of students. This curriculum is already being run in about 10 schools in India now, very successfully. And almost about 10,000 kids are currently undergoing this curriculum in their own schools. These are not ISKCON run schools, some of them are, but many of them are regular schools that have adopted this curriculum very successfully. And this curriculum is being taught not only by our devotee teachers, but also by regular teachers who are not exactly devotees. And this curriculum is, as I said, is a self-paced curriculum. It can be taught by anybody. At this point of time, I'm not giving this curriculum to individuals who are homeschoolers or who are, wanting to teach their kids on their own. I might do that in the future. But this curriculum is presently meant for schools and for Sunday schools. So if anyone is interested in getting this curriculum, you're most free to get in touch with me, and I would be happy to facilitate and train your teachers to teach this curriculum to as many kids as possible. The idea of this curriculum is to make it very effective and very, very powerful. These are my contact details. If anybody is interested in getting in touch with me, you're most welcome to come and connect. And I will be happy to guide you through the whole process of this curriculum, help you understand the whole curriculum, help you get samples of workbooks to help you get a good idea of how the curriculum looks, and also facilitate you in taking this curriculum to your schools. So I really hope and pray that through this curriculum, we can reach thousands of students, thousands of kids who unfortunately today don't have great guidance. We are very, very fortunate that within the ISKCON communities, we have so many Sunday schools that are running, which are very effectively organized and which are very powerfully inspiring children to get connected. But my aim and desire is to take it beyond the ISKCON schools, get into the regular schools where thousands and thousands of kids are being raised in an environment with no values. Srila Prabhupada always said that schools are like slaughterhouses where children go in and their mindsets and their faith is completely being slaughtered. My thought process is we may not be able to change the pattern of children going to schools as of now, at least. We're not ready for it, absolutely. But at the same time, we should do something about it. So I thought creating a curriculum for value education, which can be taught in regular schools, is a solution. So that way, we are inside the school teaching kids about values through scriptures, through very, very powerful means. If anyone would like to learn about this curriculum, you can most freely contact me on any of these avenues that I mentioned over here. And if you would like to, get into a discussion with me, you can schedule a meeting with me. I'll be more than happy to help. And if anybody would like to support this project in any way, and you would like to help me sponsor a school, there are many, many schools that are wanting the curriculum but may not be able to afford the curriculum. But though the curriculum is very, very cheap and very, very simply affordable, but still there are many schools in India, especially which are, public schools that may not have the funds to run a curriculum. But if anybody would like to be a part of this venture, would like to be a part of my team, you're most welcome, and I'll be happy and honored to talk to all of y'all. I really am grateful for this opportunity, and I'm very, very honored and happy to be a part of this initiative where we are trying to bring the best of teachers together, the best of minds together, who are really seriously interested in imparting values, imparting um, extremely powerful tools that can help individuals, help teachers, help educators in the most powerful way. And I am very honored to be a part of this Sangha of devotees. And I'm very honored to be a part of this forum where we can collaboratively and together come to a very educative experience for all the teachers, students. I congratulate the ISKCON Ministry of Education for this fantastic project of bringing in so many of the educators together to create a platform where we can nourish children through what we are calling it as bhakti seeds. And I'm really very happy and honored to be a part of Viplav, which is a platform that ISKCON Education Ministry is helping to create to collaboratively help thousands of children across the world. Thank you very much. And if whatever I've spoken has touched your hearts in any way, and if you feel that what I'm doing is of any value to bring forth education, especially value education in children's lives, I seek your blessings and I seek your support in taking this to the next level so that we can save an entire generation of children from the wrong mindsets and the wrong thoughts and bring them to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, give them beautiful values, give them a happy and joyous life filled with consciousness, filled with the best of principles and value systems. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.